Hey, welcome back to a new video. Hope you're all doing well. In this video is going to be a little bit about our insurance situation and us cooking a little bit of food and going out for a walk in the countryside. And it's this countryside right behind us that you can see. Beautiful. So the issue we've had, yesterday we were sorting out all of our paperwork, like the addresses and stuff, obviously because we've moved out the flat and into the van now. We're having to change the addresses to Tabitha's mum's, so we're having to sort all that out yesterday. And when it came to actually doing the van insurance, we thought it would be fine to obviously just insure it as a normal van and not have to fill out this form here, which is the conversion into a camper van, camper van and motorhome. But after ringing the insurances up and telling them obviously what we've done in the back, none of the insurance at a reasonable prices will actually insure us. So now we've got to make a table, because we don't have a table in here at the minute. We've got to make a table and then take pictures of it, fill this form in, and then print the pictures out and send it all off to DVLA, and hopefully it gets accepted as a camper van. Yeah, so if when we take the pictures and someone actually looks at it, because it's an individual basis, it's not like a real rigid yes, no, from what we've seen anyway online and what we've heard online. So hopefully it gets accepted, and if it doesn't, we'll be really annoyed, because I think if anyone looks at the van, you can clearly see it's a camper van and not just a normal van that people are making out as a camper van. So yeah, we're just going to build a table just because that means we can tick another box, and it shouldn't take too long. And to be fair, it'll be easier with a table after having to cut stuff on the side. It makes it a bit more difficult, so the table will be nice. So yeah, that's the plan for today, and then hopefully the second plan for today is actually get this filled in and sent off, but obviously it depends how long it takes us to do the table.
The only annoying thing about having to transfer it over to a camper van is the fact that Liam won't be able to get insured on it. So I rang them up and they said that they basically wanted Liam to have 2 years, his licence for 2 years.
Yeah.
Which he only passed in November, so
yeah.
That means he's basically not going to get insured, so it means I'm going to do all the driving.
Yeah.
Which is a bit annoying, because obviously that's why you did your driving.
My whole licence.
Yeah, that's why you did all your tests and stuff.
Yeah.
But at least we could still do it, I suppose.
Yeah.
I enjoy driving anyway, so it should be fine.
Exactly, yeah.
It was kind of more for the emergency thing, really. Like if I was ill or we had like a long journey to do and I was tired, obviously Liam could just jump in and drive.
Yeah, well now we can't. It's only like, at the end of the day, if it comes between like a life and death matter, or I suppose then you just call 999, wouldn't you? So that's kind of sorted that. But if, I don't know, say Tabitha was out or something, then we'd have to get moved on. It'd be a bit awkward, I suppose, but yeah, I mean, you can come to some arrangement with that and just say, obviously, wait until Tabitha gets back or whatever, because she's the only one that can drive the van. But yeah, the criteria actually is for, I think it's for all motorhome insurers. Yeah. I don't know if it's, but definitely the ones we spoke to anyway. They all said that you have to be 25 and have your license for 2 years. I've just turned 25, so I kind of hit that category, but I don't hit the category of having my license for 2 years. But they don't care about that. They basically said, no, it has to be both or none, which is annoying.
I do find it funny because, like, he can get insured on this van. If it's just a van,
yeah,
you can get insured on it.
Yeah, and it's the exact same van.
The exact same van. We've just transferred the use into a camper. And like, no.
At the end of the day,
I don't really understand it, really, but...
No, it's stupid, because the amount of weight that's in it now, I could easily replicate it if I was a workman and I had all my tools in the back and materials and stuff. It'd probably outweigh what's in it now. So I don't get the logic in insuring me for a van and not insuring me for a camper van just on age and how long I have my licence. I'd understand if they wouldn't insure me on a van, like full stop, that's fair enough, you know what I mean? That's kind of across the board, okay, whatever. But the fact that they'll insure me as a normal van and not as a camper van is pretty dumb, in my opinion. I think it's just a stupid little rule that kind of makes it awkward for everyone, because now obviously it's made a lot more awkward for us. But it's not going to stop us, because obviously we want to do it and we'll do it. I just won't obviously drive the van, which is a bit annoying. Yeah. So that's today's task anyway, is to sort the table out, sort this letter. Well, that's the task for how long it takes us to sort the table out and sort this out, but that's what the main tasks at hand.
So we're cooking our first meal in the van. We're making chorizo dumplings, which is one of our favourite meals that we used to cook in the flat.
Using the Omnia oven for the first time as well.
So we'll see how well that goes as well. Yeah, so at the minute we're just frying some onions, garlic, and you just put some cannellini beans in there.
Yeah.
And you just have to put some chopped tomatoes in. And I just let it, like the water dissolve a little bit. And then basically put in there with some chorizo dumpling mix, which is just flour, water, bit of butter, and what else is in there? Oh, chorizo, because otherwise it won't be called chorizo dumplings without chorizo in it.
Alright, so this is the table contraption that we've come up with. There's a key part to it later, which I think will surprise you to make it work. So you just put it in the slot here that we've made, put the leg under, and then slot it in. Where is it? Right, so that's the leg in. But then this is the key part. Without this, it'd be unsafe. So if Tabitha comes round, you'll see why. So here, see how it moves a lot if you pull on it. If you put the handle in, the spoon in there, it acts like a little wedge. Now, solid. So now we can use it for cooking and stuff. I should have used it a minute ago, but because both of us were moving around, I didn't want to get it out. But yeah, look nice and solid. You can put your weight on it. It means that when we're actually editing videos and stuff, I can actually sit here like in a nice, comfortable position and not get a backache as much and stuff. So yeah, I thought I'll test that out now when I'm pouring the food from the frying pan into the Omnia oven. And the annoying thing is, there's a little hole in there, and I know for sure I'm definitely going to drip stuff through that.
Yeah,
so
and that table is going to be wrecked on the first day.
Yep.
Like you did with my tea towel.
So you got a Christian stuff, innit?
I have a brand new white tea towel, and he decides to go and dry the bottom of the frying pan that he just used on the barbecue the other day.
Yeah.
Now it's all stained black.
Yes, and
First time.
what we was on about earlier as well with regarding the insurance for the van, I think we've actually managed to come to like a common ground where we don't have to change the van logbook, because after doing some more research on it, we definitely won't get accepted.
No.
There's people that have ticked every single box on there, and it seems like DVLA are idiots, and even then they don't accept it, so we're definitely not going to get it. You know what I mean? The inside of the van is as you can see, is perfect, but the outside doesn't have two windows, isn't a high top, doesn't have decals on the side, and I think there's maybe another and it doesn't have an awning bar either. Which I think is pathetic that you have to have all that to classify as a camper van. Like, clearly this is a camper van, we can live in this space, so I don't see the problem there, but they do, so unfortunately that's how it is. The solution we've come up with is, let me stir this. The solution we've come up with is you can get specialist van insurance with only certain insurers, but they will insure a van that's either part or fully converted, but doesn't have this logbook changed. So that's what we plan on doing. We did one quote earlier, which was expensive for me and Tabitha, for both of us. So I can get insured on it as well. But for both of us, it was 2,360, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was expensive for me as well. Like, it was what, 1,200 for me?
Yeah, it was 1,200 just for Tabitha on her own. So, oh no, 1,300 I think it was for you as well on your own. But we've got like, just from a couple hours looking it up, we've got about 5 or 6 different companies that we need to look at. But because it's Good Friday today, they're all shut. So yeah, we're going to call them tomorrow, the ones that we can call them tomorrow and see what they say. Apparently the best one from the reviews that we've seen online and recommended on Facebook and stuff
Brent Acre?
Brent Acre, yeah. So we're going to try them, but I don't think I'll get insured on that. That might just be Tabitha on her own.
Yeah.
But it depends on price, basically, because if we, ideally, we don't mind spending up to 2,000 if both of us can drive on it, because obviously that'll make it a lot easier for us when we're travelling around. But we'll have to wait and see. You know what I mean, see what you can find. But that seems like the common ground between not having to sort it out completely and not having to swap it over completely, and yet still being able to insure it and make sure we're obviously fine and covered fully. Because the last thing we want to do is actually go driving in this van, have a crash or someone crashes into us or something like that, and then find out your insurance is void because obviously you're not kind of declaring the modifications that we've done. You don't want that. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have a solution to that, and that'll all be resolved, and we'll have proper insurance, and that'll be ace, because then once that's done, then we can just kind of get on with what we want to be doing without having to do like the little nitty gritty stuff that you kind of have to do when you first move into a van. Alright, so we're just going for a little walk today, as it's a glorious sunny day. We're going on the public footpath, so we shouldn't bump into anyone, but it should be glorious.
we've made it to the canal, as you can see behind me. It's been a nice walk in the sunshine, but now it's time to walk back.
Right, so we just got back. It took us about 2 hours on the walk. We didn't see another soul the whole way. We're just about to have a barbecue. Just need to light it and let it burn down. Right, so we spoke earlier in the video about obviously the insurance being a bit of a nightmare. We've managed to sort it out, but we'll actually make a whole video about it because it was kind of a bit confusing, especially for us. We didn't do too much research before we actually got the van, which is probably a bit of our own fault. But we've managed to get a solution, and it's worked out a lot cheaper actually than even if it was converted to a campervan on DVLA. So yeah, it's worked out perfectly in some ways. It just means I still can't drive it, which is the annoying thing, until November, and then I can drive. I just have to get insured then. But yeah, we'll do a whole video breaking it down, how much it cost us and what we had to do, because in some ways it's not really worth it. If it's how cheap we've got it for, it don't even make it worth it, sorry, to actually convert it over to a campervan like on the DVLA and stuff. So if that's the case, obviously it might help some other people out there, or especially if you're just obviously getting into a van, if your first van yourself, it hopefully will help you out a little bit. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. So we've eaten now, we've just got to wash up. I think we're going to call it a night. We just sat next to the fire, got the kettle on, just going to watch the last bit of the sunset and then jump in the van and maybe read a book or something. So until the next video, bye for now.